got something on there? Yes.
My name is Kneussle. I'm in Bobby Miller's district. I'm adamantly opposed to this ordinance. There was no open debate. You didn't consult with the citizen groups composed of your constituents. As usual, it was done behind closed doors, with little input from the public. You passed it and then allowed us to discuss. I do appreciate everything you guys do on a day-to-day basis, and I wanted to present this as respectfully as possible. However, outside I witnessed one of the county commissioners threaten a member with this ordinance stating that on Thursday he was coming after his property. I'm mad. That was unprofessional, that was unethical, and that was uncalled for. So now I'm going to harshly state my argument. You take an oath of office to uphold and defend the Constitution. I believe someone will talk more specifically about that. But you need to be mindful of the Constitution. You need to be mindful of the limits that we the people place on you, and that you are servants of the people, and that you govern with our consent. And I get the impression that you think that you are higher than us. And that is unsettling. You passed this ordinance on the pretense that it was needed to abate health and safety issues, that your hands were tied, that there was people with junk property and there was nothing that could be done. However, I adamantly disagree with you, because the Alabama Code of Law, Section 65120, gives a right to action to abate nuisances. It also, as I don't have all this memorized, so I'll refer to it. A private nuisance may injure either the person or property or both, and in either case, a right of action accrues. Nuisances are either public or property. The state can abate nuisances by a process instituted in the name of the state. So I was thinking, do we have a bureaucracy already in place that we, the taxpayers, already pay for that deals with health and safety? And that's the Department of Health. If you go to Administrative Code 420, you will find that they have that authority. And we actually tested that authority just a few weeks ago on Bear Creek Road. Pile of junk on this private property. Unsettled neighbor called, and within 3 days that junk was cleared. So why do we have to fine people $150 a day for violations? And what are those violations? Are those violations the extreme junked up property? Or, as the ordinance states, can metal furniture be considered rubbish? Yes, that's what the ordinance says. Yard waste. So if you are saying that we will not go after people for nitpicky things, who's to say your successors won't?
Yeah.
That's why you are the guardians of our liberty. It's your responsibility. Now we know, we have watched this ordinance sweep across the country. We've seen it being promoted by the National Association of County Commissioners. We know that you just came from a meeting in Reno, Nevada that was paid for by the taxpayers. And we have documents from that meeting as well as others. So why are you taking your orders from people outside of Alabama? If there's someone with junk property, most likely they're disabled, they're poor, they're in impoverished communities. Instead of fining them $150 a day for which they can't afford, you guys are good Christian men. How about you get your congregation together, work with some of the outreach ministries that build wheelchair ramps and clean up these people's property, and I'll go with you and clean it up.